All right, welcome into Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick, and follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. I got David Ebersol. You can follow him at David W. Ebersol. Make sure to use the code 5. That's the way you get to $50. Pretty simple. Multiply by 10. Put in the code 5. When you sign up, make a play. They'll give you 50 to keep playing. That's really how easy this is. And you can play between 2 and 4 players together, across the different sports. And if you get them right, you win the whole thing. That's how this works. So that's the way to win at PrizePicks. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get your $50 on your $5. All right, let's get to it. Dolphins and Rams. We are getting to the point of the season, David, where these games are only interesting for the Dolphins from a PrizePicks perspective. But let's get to it. The first number to take a look at tonight. Dolphins have been horrible in primetime games, by the way. You got to consider that. That's just historical. And not particularly good under McDaniel either. So that's a little bit more recent. Two is at 200, was it 247.5 passing yards? I'm playing it over. I think in this type of game, McDaniel goes back to what's comfortable for him. And I think he's going to throw it around the lot tonight. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, the Rams' pass defense is probably the weakest they're going to face in this stretch of games. Number one in yards per attempt allowed, number one in yards per completion allowed. So, yeah, I agree with that logic here. Vegas has this as a 49.5 over under, so there's going to be some points in this game. Both teams are going to be able to move the ball, so I feel like on the road, I mean, Miami's only a slight underdog, but yeah, I mean, they might go back to a little bit more of a pass-heavy script in this game to attack a pretty mediocre Rams pass defense. They're middle of the pack against the run, so I'm going to kind of side with you on that logic too. I like Tua as well in this one.
All right, let's look at some of the other Dolphins props here. I know you like Devon Achane. On what?
I like him actually on his first 5 rushing yards over at 20.5 on his first 5 attempts. You see that last 2 games, 29 against a much better Buffalo run defense and 33 against Arizona. So I feel like he could rip off one chunk play in those first 5 carries and go over this 20.5. And then on the receiving end out of the backfield, I actually like Raheem Mostert. Longest reception is just 5.5 yards. I feel like, again, against this Rams defense that's susceptible to the pass, giving up 13.5 yards per completion overall. His longest reception at 5.5. I mean, look at when he is involved in the passing game, he does make a decent contribution. So I feel like that 5.5 is a good play for me.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's an easy one. Let's take a look at some of the receiver totals today. Tyreek, we are now an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes before the game. Do we know his situation?
I mean, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything that he's going to be inactive. But
well, there was the risk that he was questionable. So
yeah. I might go under on this. Maybe not on the yards, but maybe like on the targets, 8.5 targets. I'd maybe go under that. It kind of saves you from the big play if they do hit a big play. But then you also got the demon over half a touchdown. So if Tyreek is playing and is relatively healthy, I mean, you see he's been out of the end zone. He's due for one. So
just crazy. It's just
Waddle, wasn't up for a while, and now they got his numbers back. So Waddle's probably my favorite play. I like the Cup and Waddle combo at 110.5.
I mean, look, we talk about the connection between Tua and Waddle, but Jalen's had go to the receiving yards. It was right now. It's 42.5. Go to his last 5.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, it's insane. It's just insane. I mean, I mean, he's hardly total 130 yards there. That's over 5 games.
They're talking 2,000 yards for Tyreek. They might not get 2,000 yards combined, these two. I love those 3.5 receptions, though. I think he's going to hit this 3.5 receptions tonight. I think he's going to get 4.
All right, so we'll take a look at that one. All right, let's take a look at the Rams here. You and I we're both on Kyren Williams, but in different ways. I'm going under on his rush yards. It was 85.5. That's a big total for a running back against the Dolphins over the past couple of years. You don't see a lot of guys just grind it out against them. I know that they're without some players. I understand it, and David Long has been demoted. All kinds of different stuff here. I don't know. I think they're going to make him work to get to that 80 mark tonight. I'm going to play him under on that. You like him over on something else?
On the tutty, half a touchdown. I mean, it's at -220. The guy just puts the ball in the end zone. the bottom line, I think if you're going to play Kyron Williams, you got to play this Goblin play over half a rush plus receiving touchdown because he could get involved in either the passing game or the running game. So I feel like he's one of those guys that could contribute in any way.
Yep.
Miami's run defense is pretty decent. So, I agree with you on the volume. I would probably stay away from his over on this 85.5.
Another one to look at. Let's look at the two receivers, and then we'll get to Stafford to close. I don't know how to play the two receivers because they just flip every week, right? Like Kupp had one. Go to his receiving yards. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Go to Kupp on his receiving yards. Okay, you see that huge game. Two very modest games in there, two big games. Right now, go to his receiver mate, whose name I can never pronounce. There you go.
You can never
no, you get you need the PUKA.
Here he is.
And take a look at his receiving yards. Click on that on the last 5.
Yeah, they're all over.
See what I'm saying?
That's why I like these longest receptions or one of those type of plays. I always like because take him under on this longest reception of 23.5. I mean, I would take that under. I mean, I don't even know if he's one of those this year. I think they're underestimating Miami's pass defense a little bit in this game. The problem with the Dolphins, they don't get takeaways.
Yep.
That's really the backbreaker of this defense.
Well, we talked about that. The guy who was primarily responsible for their takeaways was Van Ginkel, and he's not here anymore.
Yeah, let's close with elsewhere.
Let's close with Stafford.
I'll take a shot on this demon, maybe, even though that you see it as a bit. I don't even worry about the last 5 of the quarterbacks. I think Miami's pass rush is a good pressure, but not a good finishing pass rush. He can
they get one. He just needs a yard.
This combo play is interesting, actually. This combo play.
Yeah, I would have played that. Now that I look at that, I would have played that over instead of playing 2 straight.
Yeah, I
feel one will compensate for the other. I agree. I think this is an overgame tonight. I'm looking at the rest of his passing yards, 254.5. I would play him with Tua. I'd play him with Tua. All right, so those are some of our plays tonight. Again, the Rams receiver is a little shaky. A little concerned about that because again, one might go for 100, 200, and the other might go for 0. It just depends who they. And I don't know who Jalen Ramsey's going to blanket. That's the problem, right? So we'll take a look at that there. All right, use the code 5 FIVE. Put down 5, get 50. Play it tonight. Check out Major Money during the week here. Sean Rochester, the rest of our group, Ross, Eric. They all pop in here from time to time. Thanks, David. Follow me, David W. Eversole. Again, download the app now. Just start playing. Use the code. You get $5. You can risk $5. It's not even a grande latte. Check it out. PrizePicks.com.